It is October 25th, the morning of, and I'm back in the deer woods, finally. I've spent a lot of this fall trying to shoot some ducks, and now it's finally time. Kind of a tough spot to get into. With that oak ridge, there's so many leaves on the ground. I walked as slow as I could to get down in here. Didn't hear anything take off, but we'll see. We're gonna sit still here for the next 20-30 minutes and get ready for something cool to happen this morning, I think. We'll see. It's a little after 8 o'clock. 5-10 minutes ago I heard something coming. So I quick grabbed my bow. I had 4 does and fawns come scoot right through in front of me at like 30 yards, and then they kind of went running through, and I looked back and there's more deer coming, a doe and 2 fawns, and then a buck and then another buck. So I had 9 deer just walk through here. And that nice little 8-pointer stood back there, I don't know, 70 yards maybe, and the doe was kind of boogered off, and he kind of went back and followed those does again. He was sniffing around, and he knows it's about to happen, so it was cool to see. It is the afternoon, October 25th. It's like 3:45, and just got settled in. Have about 3 hours sit tonight, and we're hunting. We got the wind blowing into my face, which is pretty good. There's bedding to the south, almost everything. There's a fence line right over next to me here, and pretty much everything on the other side of that fence is bedding. And on our side of the fence there's like 80 to 100 acres of corn, and that's the main food source. There's some beans 3/4 of a mile to the south, so this is the main food source for this section for most of this bedding. So we're kind of in between the bed and the food. There's this decent sized clearing that these deer naturally cross, so the goal is to hopefully they just come right by, but we'll see. We'll do a little calling if we have to. If we see a deer we want to try to get a little closer. This stand is kind of set up for calling, because most of the bedding is on the other side of the fence that we don't have permission on. So the stand is set up right on the fence line. It's like 15 yards across from the big clearing on the other side of the fence that a lot of deer run across. They're chasing does, or they'll just, even the big bucks, I noticed a lot of the nicer bucks, mature bucks, will step out. There's a kind of a ditch that runs east and west, and they'll step out on top of that ditch in the oak ridge and just kind of check the clearing and look for does quick, it seems. And then, so we've been successful in the past calling deer over. My dad actually shot a really nice 6x6 that walked across the clearing. He called, and the deer swung around, called him in almost to the base of his tree, almost too close. He was able to shoot that deer that morning, but it's been pretty successful to set stands up that way. I just had the doe and fawn come through. 10 yards, just perfect. Did exactly what I wanted them to do. I came in here on Saturday, 6 days ago, put a bag of analogics out right behind the camera and right in front of me. I spread it out in 2 spots, the 2 biggest shooting lanes, to get these deer to come through here, give them a reason to come through here before they go to the corn or when they come back from the corn to bed. Worked perfectly. The fawn came in right away, little button buck, cool little guy. The doe kind of stayed on the other side of the fence, jumped the fence, came right here, fed there for a few minutes, and they just walked off through the thicker stuff, headed to the corn. So hopefully there's a mature buck and not long behind them. Hopefully he does the same thing. We'll see. That was cool. That was really cool. My plan worked absolutely perfectly. We just need the right deer to do it. Pretty good night tonight. I had 5 does and fawns come in. They all came like 15-yard shots in all of them. Unfortunately, North Dakota, we get 1 archery tag. The bonus tags that I do have are for the other corner of the state, so I had to sit there and just watch them in all their glory. It is Sunday, October 27th, and we had a cold front hit last night. Yesterday afternoon. Yesterday's high was 57, I believe. Today's high is like 36 or 37. West, kind of northwest wind. The wind's not perfect for this spot. It's a stand I actually just hung this morning. Yesterday morning, I hung another stand, only like 60, 70 yards away, and when we were down here, the activity was so good, and this is just a perfect little funnel pinch point thing. There's scrapes right under, actually, right underneath me. There's a scrape, a couple more scrapes to the south, and there's major bedding. The best bedding in this property is across the fence on the south end of the property. And we checked the trail camera yesterday. Lots of daylight activity in the last week of shooters and just deer in general down here. So there's a pretty major trail. It's about 75, 80 yards straight in front of me, right through this opening, so I can see that perfectly. Just had 5 deer show up out of nowhere. I looked up and there was a doe at 30 yards. She was right downwind. Came right to me like 10 yards. Look over, there's a little spike buck in the corn. Then I look up and there's 3 more does and fawns. They all kind of worked around me a while. The little buck just went to the north. 4 of them went into the woods right by my other stand and then came back out. The 3 little does went back into the corn and the buck came this way. So. Just had a nice 8-pointer come out right where I expect him to. Stood behind me for a couple of minutes. Walked right by at 10 yards. And he got downwind and he kind of got weird. And then another buck came over, a little smaller buck. And he started posturing up the 8-pointer, but the 8-pointer was kind of spooky with the wind. They ended up just standing there and walking into the woods. This cold front's got these deer moving big time. Another Just got back in the truck from tonight's hunt. It was pretty awesome. I had deer movement kind of early, and then nothing really at prime time when I thought it'd be. That cold front kind of had deer up early. Passed up a real cool 8-pointer. We got lots of pictures of him the last week or two, right on that south end of the property there. I really trust my my process that I use for scent elimination. You know, the shower, the keeping the scent clothes. I actually don't wear any of my hunting clothes in the truck. I'm stripped down to my base layer now. I keep all of my exterior layer in a Ziploc bag in the back seat. I spray down my base layer before I put my outside layer clothes on, then I spray those down. I spray my boots every time I go in, spray my hands because that's what's touching everything throughout the day. So it was real good today because I knew that wind wasn't perfect for where I expected the deer to be, and not a single deer really spooked. They kind of knew something wasn't right, but going into November now, it's game time. We got shooters on their feet in daylight the last week or two. We got mature deer on the public ground. It's gonna be fun. We got more guys coming in to hunt this weekend, so hopefully we get a few deer down. But yeah, it was awesome end of October. We're gonna have a fun November. I think we got lots of deer in the area, so it's gonna be a good time. We're gonna go warm up and get ready for next weekend.